government's healthcare program. To supplement the delivery of health services, several malasakit centers were also established throughout the country. Education is another sector that is important to the government. President Rodrigo Duterte in 2018 signed the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act, or the Free Tuition Law. The land reform program of the administration has also seen much success, as the Department of Agrarian Reform has set an all-time record of 60,000 hectares of land distributed with certificates of land ownership. As the President wants to continue preserving the safety and the security,
we would like to also
campaign against illegal drugs
make it known that our Vice Mayor of the City of Cebu is already here, Honorable Vice Mayor Donaldo Dondon Hontiveros. Sir, good afternoon. And our special guest from the Presidential Communications Operations Office, Secretary Jose Ruperto Martin Andanar. A big round of applause, please. May we request our VIPs to please take your seats in front.
practitioners. The President created the Presidential Task Force on Media Security through Administrative Order Number 1. To achieve the
May I request everyone to please all stand for our opening prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. You may take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come together here at the Cebu City Medical Center for the turnover ceremony in celebration of Parangal for Women Frontliners in Cebu. This is a project of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, or the PCOO, under the Office of the President. At this point, we are pleased and honored to acknowledge the presence of our guests for this event. First off, he is here despite his tight schedule. Please welcome, with a round of applause, Vice Mayor Honorable Donaldo Hontiveros. Of course, we have our key officials from the PCOO, our benefactors for this activity, bannered by the Secretary of the PCOO himself, Honorable Jose Ruperto Martin Andanar. With him are the Director for Operations, Good Governance, and Government-Owned and Controlled Corporations, Attorney Glenn Albert Ocampo. Sir. And the Chief of the PCOO's General Services Division, Attorney Tara Tristine Rama. We are also delighted to be personally graced by the Undersecretary of the Office of the Presidential Assistant for the Visayas, Honorable Anthony Gerard Jonji Gonzalez. Finally, for CCMC, please acknowledge to the big hand Dr. Anton Oliver Reposar II, our Acting Chief of Hospital, Ma'am Sonia Empinado, Assistant Head for Administration, Dr. Eduardo Camalongay, our Chief of Clinics, and to all my co-public health workers, let's give ourselves a big round of applause. Now, to deliver the words of welcome, please help me welcome Vice Mayor Donaldo C. Hontiveros.
Maayong hapon sa tanan. Ma'am Sonia, salamat. Kalit-kalit nga imbitasyon. To our guest, of course, our benefactor, Secretary Andanar, maayong hapon, sir. Yusek Junje, salamat. Atong mga frontliners, gyud, burag the past 2 years, kamo gyud ang among hero gyud. So, to be invited in such short notice, Ma'am Sonia, wag gyud problema, timing rasad, dito ko sa community scout, nibisita ko sa mga bata, so dool na jud kayo. And nakaingon ko nga, daghang kay ihatag sa Secretary Andanar, niingon ko, mangayo na lang sa ko para sa mga bata. But kidding aside, the past 2 years, grabe jud kay inyong sacrifices, and I'm pretty sure ma-delay sad ang hazard, Doc Antono. And of course, with the delays, di sad ma-question gyud ang inyong effort, kay you always go out of your way, lapas sa oras mo trabaho, knowing you're not only working for your family, you're working for the community and for the city of Cebu. And with that, we acknowledge you and we appreciate your effort and sacrifices. And sir, thank you for this activity. And I hope in one way or another, ma-appreciate good or makita good sa tao ang inyong mga sacrifices. Because again, the past 2 years, kamo good ang dako jud kay nga role with this pandemic. So with that, may hapon na tong tanan. God bless. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Hontiveros. Before we proceed, we would like to also acknowledge the presence of Assistant Secretary for RTVM, Secretary Demic Pabalan. A round of applause, please. To share with us a little bit of a background about this noble undertaking, please help me with a round of applause, PCOO's Director for Operations, Attorney Glenn Albert Ocampo.
Yun, maayong hapon sa tanan, sa atong frontliners. Maayong hapon, Sec Martin Andanar, kay Vice Don, kay Yusek John G, kay Doc, maayong hapon, Ma'am Sonia, maayong hapon po, and Thank you for allowing us to implement our project, itong Parangal para sa Women Frontliners. So basically, sa PCOO Manggod, member ta sa Gender and Development Focal Point System. So sa among God, unahunaan na mo, usa sa mga dapat nga ginabuhat is to give credit dun sa women frontliners all over the Philippines. We've done this last year sa different municipalities in Region 10 na kung asa ang atong secretary kay naka-assign man na siya dito na Cabinet Officer for Regional Development or CORDS. We also did this last Christmas dito sa PGH o sa Philippine General Hospital. So basically, it's a way of recognizing the efforts of our women frontliners who had to do double time. Kumbaga, you don't only do your work here in the hospitals or in whatever fields that you have, but even pagdating sa balay, na expectation ang society na gampanan kining role nga ginabuhat as ilaw ng tahanan or are the mother ng family. So anyway, with all your work, makita nato now pagbiyahe na mo diri sa airport, daghan nagtao sa restaurants, medyo puno na. And I think yung pagbalik sa kuan, when our economy is beginning to rise up again, it's largely due to the efforts of our frontliners, especially sa kababaihan. So yun lamang, palakpakan na to ang atong kaugalingon. Salamat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Ocampo. Ladies and gentlemen, for his solidarity message for all of us, especially for our women frontliners, please acknowledge with a big round of applause the Secretary of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, Honorable Jose Ruperto Martin Andanar.
Salamat. Wa man din si Mayor Rama, pero mayong hapon-gyapon. Sa akong idol, Vice Mayor Dondon Ontiveros, Cebu City Vice Mayor. It's good to see you again. Kay Yusek John G. Gonzales, ako pong amigo, kauban sa cabinet ni Presidente Digong. Si Director Glenn, kauban ako sa PCOO. Usapod sa among gisaligan sa PCOO, Cebuano pod. Murag si Glenn, Cebuano man eh. Si Attorney Tara Rama. Asa man si Tara? Okay, Tara. Single pa na si Tara. Naganpod single din sa atba. Mga gwapa yung mga Cebuana, no? Gwapa. Sa atong CCMC Key Management Personnel kay Ms. Nina Villamor, ang atong Acting Chief Nurse. Si Dr. Eduardo Camalongay Jr., Assistant Chief of Hospital for Medical Services. Si Ms. Sonia Empinado, ma'am, ang atong Acting Assistant Chief of Hospital for Administration of Dr. Anton Oliver Reposar II. O sa tanan natong mga nurses dire, mga medical frontliners, mayong hapon kanatong tanan. This pandemic has proven to be a challenge to all of us. Maybe that's a very big understatement, no? Kay duha ka tuig na ta nag-antos. At the outset, everyone was afraid of so many things. They were afraid of contracting COVID-19. They were afraid of not being able to see their families and friends again. Lives were mostly hanging by a thread. Then the situation turned around and people finally started to see a light at the end of the tunnel. This would not be possible were not for our frontliners who have greatly helped our government. They stood up and heeded the call to fight this pandemic. As a matter of fact, I would like to congratulate Cebu City and the entire Cebu province for being a primary example of managing the COVID-19 situation for the last 2 years. I have received reports from Yusek John G. and Secretary Mike. Palakpakan nato ang atong kaugalingon. Although risks are still present, it is undisputed that we are now able to be with our loved ones and carry on with our lives. We attribute this achievement to you, our frontliners, especially the women who continue to sacrifice everything just so we are kept out of harm's way. As a sign of gratitude for your service to our Filipino fellow men and women, the PCOO holds this Parangal for Women Frontliners. It is now our turn to give back and to show you that we are here for you. We hope this somehow mitigates the burden you are carrying. And thank you so much, our dear women frontliners. Consistent also with our commitment to advance your interests, we are one with the Philippine Commission on Women in celebrating this year's National Women's Month. You can rest assured that we at the PCOO remain to go at lengths to achieve gender equality and women empowerment. On a final note, I hope your passion and desire to serve the country do not die. Know that the government and the whole country are with you in this fight. And before I say thank you, ganiya dito ko sa Mandaue City because of a very good news. The President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and Senator Bongo, huge assistance, made it possible for all of us in the Visayas to finally have the first Visayan media hub in the entire island. Dugay na in taon naghulat ang Visayas sa usa ka media facility na pang-international. So karon, under the Duterte administration, namugna ang Mindanao Media Hub na among giablihan tung niaging tuig. Ganiha ato nang ground break ang halos 700 million pesos nga project para duna namoy Visayas Media Hub diri sa tibuok Cebu province, of course, including the Queen City of the South, Cebu. Now, this God activity is just the start from the PCOO, because the Visayas Media Hub will have several agencies from the national government: PTV, IBC 13, the Philippine Broadcasting Service, the PCOO itself, the Bureau of Communication Services, the Philippine Information Agency, the Apple Production Unit, the National Printing Office, the Philippine News Agency, and all of these agencies have GAD divisions and activities. So you can already see that with this development na natagaan og pagtagad ang tibok Cebu province, mas dali, mas paspas na ang paglambo natong tanan because we are given a co-equal right to broadcast our news here in the Visayas. You no longer have to send it to Manila. You can have your newscasts. You can have your newswire tanan. Wala na Imperial Manila. And this only happened during the term of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and the help of Senator Bongo and of course the assistance of Secretary Mike Dino. So Morato, may you all be blessed by the Almighty, that we all continue to be safe and healthy so we can continue our commitment to serve our people in Cebu City and to go home to our loved ones, to put food on our tables. Mayong hapon ka natong tanan.
Daghang salamat sa good news, Secretary Andanar, and thank you so much for recognizing the efforts of our women frontliners during these challenging times. We dearly appreciate your gesture. Once again, a big hand to Secretary Andanar and the PCOO. At this juncture, we shall now have the turnover ceremony to be led by Secretary Andanar himself. May I also invite to come to the center our good Vice Mayor, Honorable Donaldo Hontiveros, our OPAV Undersecretary, Honorable Gonzales, our Chief of Hospital, Dr. Anton Oliver Reposar II, and Ma'am Sonia Empinado, Assistant Head for Administration. May I request the beneficiaries, at least 5 of you, to make your line first, then get your gifts from Secretary Andanar. Okay? Okay. 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 That's it. Okay. One more beneficiary. Okay, please. Okay, testing. Marag ang nagkupot may mao ang beneficiary. Okay. One more, please. One more. With USEC. Okay. After this, we have one from the medical department, one of our doctors. Okay. After. From the pediatrics department, Dr. Pipito, please. Okay. With Director Ocampo. Ato na ning. Ato na ning hot doon ang kaning mga gipangkuptan nilang Ma'am Sonia ug ni Doc Anton. Ma'am Nins, one more for Dr. Anton, then one more for Ma'am Sonia. Ma'am, please. Okay, forward. With Dr. Reposar. Okay, one final beneficiary, recipient with Ma'am Sonia, center, okay? Okay. So let's give everyone a big round of applause. Thank you. Okay, please take your seats. To give the response from CCMC, let us hear from the Acting Chief of Hospital, Dr. Anton Oliver Reposar II. A big hand, please.
So maayong hapon sa tanan. First and foremost, I would like to recognize the valuable presence of our following personas gracing this momentous event for our dear Cebu City Medical Center. First, Honorable Jose Ruperto Martin Andanar, Secretary of Presidential Communications Operations Office, PCOO, a very active Vice Mayor of the Cebu City, Honorable Donaldo Dondon C. Hontiveros, Honorable Anthony Gerard Jonji Y. Gonzalez, Undersecretary, Office of the Presidential Assistant for the Visayas, OPAV, Attorney Glenn Albert Ocampo, Director for Operations, Good Governance, and GOCCS, PCOO, Attorney Tara Tristine Rama, Chief General Services Division, PCOO, CCMC Key Management Personnel, Ms. Nina S. Villamor, our Acting Chief Nurse, Dr. Eduardo Camalongay Jr., Acting Assistant Chief of Hospital for Medical Services, Ms. Sonia A. Empenado, Acting Assistant Chief of Hospital for Administration, and of course, the rest of our empowered and superbly committed frontliner employees of Cebu City Medical Center. Once again, my afternoon greetings to all of you. In behalf of the Cebu City Local Government Unit, headed by our beloved Mayor Michael Lopez Rama, and all the stakeholders of the hospital, we are beyond gratefulness as you made us part of with your trust in giving a standing appreciation to all the women frontliners of Cebu City. As Cebuanos, we have also known that Cebu City Medical Center played a very critical role in the LGU's response to the COVID-19 pandemic for almost 2 years now. I am proud to say that all our frontline employees, especially our women healthcare workers, have compassionately shown their commitment in caring to all our patients in all categories. I am proud to mention that the hospital operating as Level 1 facility, in spite of all the challenges and pressures, considering the ever-changing world of national guidelines regarding COVID-19, we were able to render the most pragmatic quality care to all our stakeholders. Lastly, our inclusion of your program, Parangal for Women Frontliners in Cebu, is a testament of our commitment and fortitude that indeed our healthcare services and frontliners are very much supported both by the local and national government. Lastly, our sincerest thanks to the Presidential Communication Operations Office headed by Secretary Martin Andanar for the recognition and appreciation. CCMC will remain steadfast in giving quality healthcare services to all our Cebu City constituents. Once again, daghang salamat and maayong hapon kanatong tanan.
Thank you so much, Director Dr. Reposar. Ladies and gentlemen, the closing remarks will be delivered to us by Undersecretary Honorable John G. Gonzalez from the Office of the Presidential Assistant for the Visayas. A big hand, please.
Thank you, sir. Di na lang ako i-acknowledge ato mga distinguished guests para mapaspastag human. Ako lang move on. Number 1, malipayon kay ko karong adlaw kay nag-celebrate ang Cebu City sa atong Charter Day. Unya atul sa nag-celebrate sa atong Charter Day, gi-announce sa atong mayor ug sa atong vice mayor nga wa nay curfew ang Cebu City. Pagkanindot. Pero kanang panghitabo, di na mahitabo kung dili tungod ninyo. Mga medical health workers, frontliners. Kay kung wa ninyo napaubos ang atong COVID numbers, sigurado nga padayon ta og curfew. So daghang kaayong salamat kaninyo, mga medical frontliners, medical workers, nga inyo yung gitabangan ang sugbo nga mapaubos ang atong kaso. Si Presidente Duterte niingon na few Mondays ago, mag-impake na kuno siya. Apan, nag-impake na siguro si Presidente, pero gasigi gihapog unpack og mga programa ug mga proyekto para sa atong katawhan, no? Mao gani nga naa si Secretary Andanar karon dinhi kay nag-groundbreaking sa usa ka maanindot nga Visayas Media Hub that will bridge the gap between our constituency and government. Importante kay sa governance ng communication. And tungod ni Secretary Andanar, nahitabo kini ug kani makatabang kaayo sa atong nasod. Karon sad nahibaw-an ako didto kog Manila gahapon, nagstorya mi ni Director Girly Veloso mao'y gi-appoint ni Presidente sa Malasakit Program Office ug ingon siya, usa sa iyang trabaho mao ang pagsiguro nga ang ato mga medical health workers mahatagan gyud og hinabang. So daghan kuno kaisag na dawat nga request, 2,500 requests na from the different hospitals, no? Hinaot unta nga moabot sad na kaninyo kay angay lang gyud nga kamo hatagan sa hinabang sa gobyerno tungod sa inyong gibuhat para namo, para natong tanan, para malingkawas ta sa aning pandemya. One more thing, padung na ta mo transition from pandemic to new normal. And the only way we can transition is if we are able to vaccinate most of our people, no? Atong paningkamutan nga 80% sa atong mga katiguangan mabakunahan gyud. Atong mga bata dapat mabakunahan gyud. Aron humanatas pandemya, new normal na ta. Ug kita kamo, labi na kamo, mubalik na sad sa di na kaayo kapoy nga trabaho. Kay kasabot jugos inyong giagian, dili malalim. No? Kada adlaw mo mata mo hadlok unsa ning COVID. But kita kay Bisaya gyud ta nalingkawas nato ang COVID tungod ninyo, tungod kay Bisaya gyud ta. Daghang salamat, maayong hapon.
Thank you so much, Yusek Gonzalez. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the conclusion of this turnover ceremony. On behalf of the LGU of the City of Cebu, the administration and staff of CCMC, we convey our heartfelt gratitude to PCOO under your leadership, sir, Secretary Andanar. That's it for this afternoon's event. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the day. We will have some photo opportunities with our guests, with our key officials here in front. Mag-picture taking ka dito before Secretary Andanar will leave for someplace else. Okay, thank you so much.